baby. Gxlden.Chvld.
What's up guys, it's your girl the Gxlden.Chvld and we're here with another video, and today we're going to talk about makeup. I'll just go over some of the main points that are important to just get better at doing makeup, because that's what you guys are watching. So the first thing that's of the utmost importance, this is a mistake that I made actually. Well, I corrected it eventually, but it was a mistake for a while. You can't successfully get better at doing your makeup if you don't have quality products. Now, makeup is expensive. If you know anything about makeup, you know that already. While it is expensive, there are some things that you can be a little cheap on, and I'm a cheap person. I don't like to spend money if I don't have to spend money. So I know how you feel if you're feeling that way. Some things that you can definitely save some money on. If you can save money on foundation. A quality foundation is important, but you don't have to buy the Fenty foundation, you don't have to buy the Gucci foundation. I don't know who else makes foundation, super high-end foundation. You don't really need that. You can get away with the CoverGirl and Maybelline and it'll work just fine. I actually sometimes use a CoverGirl foundation and it works perfectly fine. And you can get that CVS, Walgreens, those types of stores. Lip stuff also, you don't have to buy the super expensive lipsticks that stay on for 24 hours. I don't know how long they say that they're supposed to stay. You don't really need that. You can get away with cheap lip things also, just any type of lip color. You can find it cheap. I feel as though those are the only things that you can skimp on. But you do have to splurge on certain things, the things that are non-negotiable. You have to make sure it's some top-notch stuff, palettes, eyeshadow palettes, especially you won't get a rich eyeshadow, nice pigmented eyeshadow, just all that nice stuff you see on Instagram, those really nice eyeshadow looks. You need those nice palettes. You can't get away with any cheap palettes. And believe me, I've tried them cheap palettes. Once I invested in some quality palettes, I saw the difference, and I can show you guys. I've used everything. I can show you guys my trial and error with makeup. Everything I'm saying, I can back it up with pictures because I've been there, done that. I'm a makeup artist now, so I mean, I'm always learning though, even though I'm a makeup artist. That's another thing too, but we'll get to that. But palettes, you have to invest in nice, good palette. Actually, instead of just listing a whole bunch of brands, if you look at places like Ulta, Sephora, anything on those websites is quality. When you go to Sephora and Ulta, it's all nice stuff. So if you're buying it from there, it'll be nice. So there's that. Another thing, brushes. Brushes are the other thing that are super important that you really can't skimp on, and that's another thing I've learned myself. You can just tell looking at the cheap brushes and the nice brushes. I don't have to say too much about that. How you see the difference in how they look is the same in difference in how they'll work on your face. So you guys can tell the difference between them. The nice brushes last. I've gotten some cheap brushes and the hair sheds a lot, or the part that holds the bristles in, it comes off and comes off the wood part of the brush. It's a mess. You should just get good brushes. Morphe brushes are really good brushes. Another thing that makes a difference, beauty blenders. Depending what you're using them for, you don't get the best coverage, just the best foundation, concealer, whatever you're doing. The cheap beauty blenders, it just doesn't really do it. I love Real Techniques beauty blenders. It's the way to go, to be honest. The Real Techniques beauty blenders are the way to go. I really like them. I've used cheap ones before, and just the Real Technique ones, it just feels so nice when you damp it, when you're about to use it. It feels amazing. And the cheap ones, they don't really feel the same. Similar to how the brushes, you see the difference with a nice beauty blender versus a cheap one. You feel the difference, and how it feels. That's how you can tell if it's gonna work well on your face. So a lot of it is eyeballing. Me especially, if anyone knows about this, it'll be me, because I've tried to like do the like cheap thing. But if you want to have nice makeup and you're watching this video because you want to have nice makeup, you have to invest. And you know, it's a pandemic out here, the Rona is rampant, not everybody has money like that. Maybe you can ask for some stuff for your birthday, for Christmas. But in order to really have nice makeup, the quality of things is non-negotiable, really. I think another thing I forgot, another thing you can skimp on, like that doesn't need to be too expensive, is eyebrow things. Like I believe it is the, I can't remember the name, but when I'm editing this video I'm gonna look it up and tell you guys the name of the eyebrow pencil that I have been using that I really like, and it's only like $1. So eyebrow stuff doesn't need to be too expensive. You can get the Anastasia brow dip if you want to, because it's nice. Like, I'm not knocking it, it's nice. But this eyebrow pencil that I've been using is only like $1. It works just as well. Your brows will look just as nice. But yeah, I'm kind of going back and forth a little bit. I'm kind of just rolling with it as I remember, because this video itself is a little spontaneous. But another thing that you have to invest well upon is setting powder, because setting powder can really make or break a makeup look. Because let's just say, for example, me, like as a dark skin girl, I can't just use any old setting powder, because flashback is real. Like, if you don't know what flashback is, it's kind of like implied in the name. Like, the flash just kind of like shows like everything on the makeup, like especially on the under eyes. Flashback can really get people, but you'll have to invest in a good setting powder, as well as brushes. Brushes make a difference in that. Whether to set your makeup you're using a brush, a beauty blender, whatever it is, that as well as a setting powder matters, because a good brush or beauty blender will help you press the powder in to decrease flashback. And you have to have a good setting powder also, because the quality of the setting powder will also help decrease the flashback. So that really matters, because flashback is not cute. And even just without the flash, like, you don't want to, even without flash, just be like having, if you're dark skinned, or it doesn't matter what skin, even if you're light skinned, sometimes they have it too, like the cast under your eyes, because just your setting powder wasn't the best setting powder. So that's really, really important. I'd say some things that maybe it can matter, maybe it can't. Well, I'd say it's up to you, really. For like highlight, contour, blush, you can like splurge on those, but it's not necessary. Like, an example is, I've used my LA Girl Pro Concealer. I'll use that as an example for my under eyes. I used to use that for my under eyes a lot, and it worked. Like, especially if you're just starting off in makeup, that's a good thing to use. Like, LA Girl Pro Concealers, like, those aren't too expensive and they can get the job done. But currently what I use right now, it's a little far away from me. I currently use Born This Way concealer under my eyes, and it's better for creasing, because I have like smile lines under my eyes. Like, when I smile, like those lines under my eyes, you see, you can't see them that much on camera, but they're there. So creasing under my eyes, the Born This Way concealer is amazing for that. Like, when I set it, my under eyes be set. Like, I don't have to worry about any creasing under my eyes. It's amazing. But with the LA Girl Pro Concealer, I had some creasing. Like, I can't lie, I had some creasing, but it got the job done. And definitely for someone beginning with makeup, it's a good thing to use. Like, it can get the job done, it can work perfectly fine. So some things, it's like you can get away with drugstore or like less expensive stuff and it'll work just fine. I'd say same for like blush and contour too. The less expensive stuff can work fine, because just because something is more expensive, it doesn't mean that it'll work better. It doesn't mean you have to spend that money, because like, again, how I said, you don't need the Gucci foundation. Juvia's Place foundations are a pretty good price. I don't remember how much mine was, but they're a pretty good price. And even though I've never tried a Gucci foundation, I probably never would, because I don't know, I just think that would be a waste of money. That's a lot of money to spend on foundation. The Juvia's Place is full coverage. It works very well. It's a great foundation, so you wouldn't ever necessarily need to buy the super high-end foundation to have nice makeup. Another thing that you guys should just do, like, I don't know if you guys do this, just shopping in general. This is just maybe a general shopping tip. Like, when you like want some things, you should look at reviews on them, like especially if it's a big purchase. Like, I know everyone loves the Fenty foundation. I've yet to try it, but I know everyone loves the Fenty foundation. Even though you know that everyone likes it, maybe still watch some reviews on it, because it's kind of expensive for a foundation, sort of. So you should just always watch reviews. And on makeup, like if you're on Sephora, Ulta, Amazon, just look at reviews, like see how people feel about it. And also, it's a trial and error thing. Like, even probably the best foundation, like say that Fenty is the best foundation that people say, there are some people who just don't like it. Like, say for example, people with oily skin don't like it. Like, not everyone is gonna like everything, so a lot of it is trial and error and seeing what you like, what works best for you, like what preferences you have. Like, there are foundations that are best for oily skin, dry skin. There are foundations that work for every type of skin. You just also got to go through that trial and error, because let me tell you, I have plenty, I wouldn't say plenty, I have a decent amount of makeup that I just don't use. And the reason I don't use it is because it just didn't work for me. Maybe because it was cheap, or like maybe it just wasn't the best thing for me. But to be honest, most of it like was that the stuff was kind of cheap, and yeah, it just wasn't the best for me to use, so I had to upgrade. Kind of like how I said why I'm making this video, so I can just like drop this knowledge on you guys so that you know. Oh, we have another one for stuff that you don't really have to splurge on too much. Mascara. You can do just fine with drugstore mascara. You don't have to buy the high-end mascara. Like, your CoverGirl Maybelline mascara is perfectly fine, don't worry about it. And eyeliner. Any type of eyeliner, or even the eyeliner that you buy at the dollar store, it probably works perfectly fine, because eyeliner is just eyeliner, really. Unless like you're getting into more like intricate eyeliner. When I'm talking about like the dollar eyeliner is fine, I mean just like if you want some like black or like dark brown under your eye, or even like on your lid, like just basic stuff like that. When you get into liquid eyeliner and stuff like that, you should splurge on the actually liquid eyeliner. The dollar ones work kind of fine, but they can crack or something, so to not have to deal with the cracking and not have to retouch it, I would say investing in a slightly more high-end eyeliner is a good idea. But mascara and like normal eyeliner for just under your eyes or something, you can go cheap with that, it'll be perfectly fine. Highlight, for highlight, I don't know, some highlight can look unnatural, but everyone has a different preference for highlight. I don't know, if you like just a natural highlight, I'd say you can get away with drugstore highlights, but I don't know, I like my bougie highlight. I like highlight's one of my favorite makeup products, so I'll go high-end with that just because I like it so much. But you can get away with drugstore highlight because it'll still highlight you, as it says it's gonna highlight you. So that's perfectly fine. But additionally, another thing, another really important thing with getting better with makeup is doing your homework. It took me a while to get better with makeup because, you know, I'm a human being, I have stuff going on, school, work. I'm pretty regular, so it took me a while, but you really have to do your homework, whether it's on social media. It can be Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Mostly YouTube is where I learned everything. In my description box, I can leave some YouTubers and or Instagrammers who like have been really influential in me getting better at makeup, because it's not just me. Like, I'm self-taught, like I haven't taken any classes, but I've learned from watching a bunch of other people, and I want to like tell you guys who I watched and stuff so you can learn too. But yeah, you can never know everything about makeup. Just in general, you'll always be learning. Just all throughout life, you'll always be learning. And even me as a makeup artist, there's more for me to learn with makeup. I'm always on the lookout to see how someone else is doing something, how I can improve my craft, because as a makeup artist, I'm supposed to make people beautiful. So I personally want to make them as beautiful as possible because I'm a makeup artist. I want to put my best work out there, just me how I am. I want to put my best self out there in like everything I do. So there's always more to learn. There's always someone who does something different from you, and you can learn how to do it, or you can figure out how to do it. You can get inspiration from people. It's so much. You can always learn. And I think something that made me stagnant for a while in getting better at makeup, I was like, okay, I know all that I have to know. I can just like carry on as a makeup artist. And I wasn't getting better for a while because I wasn't trying to learn. Like, I wasn't looking at more techniques. I wasn't finding more people to learn from. I wasn't like getting inspiration. I was stagnant. Probably not trying to be a makeup artist. Maybe you're just trying to learn how to do makeup on yourself. You don't necessarily have to do as much as me, but you should still like maybe check out some people that I'll put in my description and see how they do what they do. Watch their tutorials. Like, just look at a few things. Like, maybe you don't like to watch super long videos, kind of like the one I'm making right now, I don't know, but you can learn something. The long videos are worth it. When you try to skip through them, you might miss something very important. You might miss something vital to like making your makeup just look better. So the long videos are worth it. Those makeup videos where the makeup artist like is doing the person's makeup, like the through and through type videos, I really like those. But then again, I love makeup, so I would love it. But it's worth it if you really want to learn. But I also figure that you're here because you really want to learn, so hopefully you do and you'll take my advice. So yeah, watching the videos, investing in stuff, and like trying to save on some things if you can, just because it's a good thing to do. But yeah, it's all dedication. Like, the overarching thing with everything is dedication. Like, I'm not trying to preach to you guys, even though I kind of am, but dedication just with everything. If you want to get better at it, you will get better at it. If you want to be a makeup artist, this video will probably point you in the right direction to where you can be a makeup artist and practice on people. Well, this doesn't apply if you don't want to be a makeup artist. If you just want to do makeup on yourself, I suppose you can just practice on yourself. But practicing, I almost forgot that. Practicing is really important. Like, you can watch everything, you can buy everything, but you have to implement it. And that's really crazy that I almost forgot to say that, but practicing is probably the most important thing. Because even though you watch a video on how to do wing liner 100 times, if you don't do it with your own hands, that wing liner will not be popping. You have to do it yourself. I hope you watched till the end of this video so you could hear me say that, but practice is super duper important. Probably the most important. I suppose it works out because best for last, so it's fine. But yeah, practice is super duper important. And even if you wouldn't do anything else at all of what I said, practicing, even if you have like cheap makeup and you're not watching someone else, if you practice with what you have, you'd be perfectly fine, because you'll learn how to make something beautiful out of what you have. That's like a good life philosophy too. Like, with what you have, like, just make lemons out of lemonade. There's always more to learn, and I hope that my video helped you guys. You learned something. This points you in the right direction for you to get better at doing makeup. I hope you enjoyed my pictures of me showing you my progress with makeup, because like we've come a long way. Started from the bottom, now we here type of stuff. So yeah, thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure you subscribe so you can become one of my golden stars, and peace out.
This for my baby, Gxlden.Chvld.